I am Miller Eichelburger. I am in the Marriage and Family Therapy program at Texas A&M University, Central Texas. Well, it's a matter of the world. The world is diverse, and the United States has been labeled the melting pot of the world. That's why it's very important. Which, with that being important, the military has an advantage. So myself as a chaplain and those that are in the military already have a leg up, if you will, on the understanding the diversity and being sensitive to it. So for instance, with the military, this is how important it is in life. And I'm gonna give you an example with the military. So with the military, you can have a gentleman join the military from Puerto Rico. Let's say a male from Puerto Rico that grew up in a single parent home. And then you can have a gentleman, black male from Mississippi that joins, and he has his father, mother, big mama, and all these other various family members. And then you can have a white male that joins from North Dakota, and he's raised by his grandmother. So all three of these gentlemen, great Americans, they come to basic training in the military. And in basic training, all their diversity and their culture comes in and it meshes under one flag. And the wonderful thing about that is they start them off, indoctrinate them on how do we respect each other's differences and how do we work together as a team to accomplish the mission. So they literally teach us in the military to march in unison, left, right, left. We taught to march together, do physical training together, to eat together, to sleep in the same area together, to be able to go to war together. So I think it's very important for diversity, which leads to my profession, being a chaplain. When you talk about diversity, me as a chaplain, my job is to provide religious support to the soldiers. So when you say religion, that's a different diversity. For instance, the gentleman I was talking about from Puerto Rico, let's say he's Catholic, and the guy from Mississippi is Missionary Baptist, and the guy from North Dakota is Anglican. Well, all of them have different needs. They come from different cultures, and the religious background throws a little diversity in there. And so I have to be able to provide religious services for all three of them. And that's why I understand the importance of being able to be sensitive to this. Now, in basic training, and when we get to our regular unit, these guys and me and everybody in the military has this wonderful training. It's called equal opportunity, which it deals with the diversity within the ranks. And so we're indoctrinated and trained to work well together and bring in our different cultures and our backgrounds. With that, the military is able to function, which I think makes me and those in the military have a leg up on those that are not accustomed to being a part of all this different diversity. Well, it could be life or death if they're not trained personally. I got a personal example. So, my job is a chaplain. I am a Southern Baptist chaplain, okay? I'm endorsed by the North American Mission Board from the Southern Baptist Convention. They say, chaplains who are endorsed by us, you cannot provide or perform any kind of same-sex marriages or have retreats or any kind of training, marriage training with same-sex couples, because it could appear that you are saying this is okay. And plus my conscience of being a Christian. So there's a time where I was at training, and one of my peers, he was at the time a captain with me, he had some issues. Now, everyone knew that he was homosexual and he was living in a homosexual relationship. Wasn't married, they were living together a man with another man. And so he had a crisis. And so he came to me and says, hey, chaplain, I understand. I know your background, because he had a religious background, but I need you to help me with my issue. So what he talked to me about is this relationship right for me? He didn't say, is this relationship wrong? He just wanted me to listen to him. And so I was able to listen to him. Now, of course, I could have said, no, brother, I'm going to refer you, because as a military chaplain, we provide religious services. So with counseling, like MFTs are taught, you can refer somebody to another person who is specifically trained to deal with someone that you might not be able to deal with, so the client can get the best treatment. I could have said that. I could have said, man, you know the Bible says, so ain't no way I'm talking to you, right? But I didn't. I just listened to him. So something that came out good could have went south and came out bad had I went on and said something different and not just sit there and listen to him. Now, granted, if he would have came to me later and says, hey, me and my partner need to have some counseling together, then I would have referred him to another chaplain who I knew that would not only counsel them, but perform marriages with them. And so I would still be able to show respect and dignity to this person. And so that's how we deal with diversity, the sensitivity of that, and not end up in a crisis. Well, I'm going to keep on going through all that military training they give us every year. I mean, besides equal opportunity, sharp training, they have every kind of culture has a month that we celebrate their culture, we eat their food. Now, my plan in order for me to grow is to continue doing what I've been doing. So like before I came down here, I was a brigade chaplain. And so under me was battalion chaplain, supervisor. White female, male from Brazil, male from Ecuador, 2 from Korea, and 2 that was just good old white Americans from different parts of the country. And so with that, they came over my house with their families. We ate together, we did the PT together, and we did everything else together to learn about their culture and everything. And it's good to continue education and read books, and I'm going to do that as far as continue to grow in my understanding. But nothing is better than a live book, to be able to sit and talk with someone and learn the do's and don'ts so you won't be offensive to them. So, again, diversity, sensitivity diversity. It's part of what MFTs do. We're in the melting pot of America, in the world. Because of technology, we're able to see other cultures and communicate more and more each day. So it is vital, and it's a life and death thing for an MFT to be able to deal with the different culture diversity and be sensitive to the needs of those that they're coming to treat.